Alright, where we last left off. The prelude to finale. Today, finale. Well, final dungeon. We'll probably split final dungeon and finale, since the dungeon itself will probably be like, I don't know, 5 hours long. Just gonna say, I'm just gonna drop a save state right here. That may indeed come in handy. Oh, why was I dumb and not got like a whole big ass map of the zone? He's wiggling. What a fool I am. Alright, if I remember right from last week, these crystal guys aren't too big of a deal. But these guys are a bit of a problem. Ooh, that's what the thing is. These guys are very resistant to magic. Hey, Cosmic Afro. Alright, these enemies so far just do not seem as bad as the ones that were in the Tower of Althena. Tower of Althena was just very rough. Lunar's not a game with a lot of side quests. No, not really. It's actually refreshing to an extent. There's not a whole lot of like, alright, is that the final dungeon? Cool, go do side quests for 5 hours. The Lunar games are very linear. Well, the only unfortunate thing is because of the linearity of Lunar, the main game tends to be a little bloated, as we saw. So I did some number getting in between the two sessions. And as it turns out, Dragon Hell, as I have grown to call it, it was 10 hours of gameplay, which is maybe a bit much. Yeah, releasing the dragons, the whole Dragon Aura side quest. I gotta do it once, alright? I mean, I'm not even talking about the bosses. I enjoy The damage floors really... The damage floors only dealt 1 damage. They weren't really that much of an issue. It's really just how long the dungeons are. The dungeons are an hour and a half each, with mostly unavoidable enemies. It's just... It is so much time of just nothing actually happening story-wise. There's like these little vignettes for each of your party members, but they're not wholly interesting. Like, Jean's is alright. Jean has a Kung Fu tournament, which is pretty rad. And that's about it. Yeah, I think that's the main issue, is that and I've kind of come to learn this about both Lunar games, and see this as one of their critical flaws. They don't do anything interesting with the dungeons. Dungeons are just, alright, here's like about 20 fights in a row. That's it. And then whenever they do have something that like changes up the monotony, it is a punishment and more fights. I think this is the way I came, and there wasn't a split path here. Or maybe there was. Or maybe there wasn't. I played myself. Oh. Squares cancel. Also, welcome to most of the encounters in Lunar 2 of a mixture of enemies that do, like, this one's weak to physical, and this one's weak to magic, and this one doesn't really care. And that's it. Hit the punching bag until it dies.
Deep in the paint of the final dungeon.
Yes.
Wow. It's a weird cave.
Well, it's a biomass.
Yes. Which is a weird cave when you get down to it.
I don't know what it is that even when I get in call, like I know I'm in a call, anybody can come in at any time. But when I'm in there by myself,
every time.
When I'm in there by myself and somebody talks back for the first time, I jump out of my skin.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I mean that happens to me literally all the time, dog. Like I actually audibly like, ugh. Even when I'm expecting it, I am not even live yet. You know?
Mm-hmm. We were just talking about how I'm realizing that a
I
majority
remember
of
these crystals.
What?
I remember these crystals.
Yeah.
These sprites of the crystals.
They're in the first game too. They're just reused. A lot of the problem of Lunar is it doesn't do anything interesting with its dungeons.
Yes.
And that's
Common
like,
problem with a lot of RPGs, actually, especially JRPGs.
yep. And that's why I think Lunar 2 just has more dungeons than 1 wholesale.
Probably.
So that's why 2 just seems to feel like it drags on a bit more. It's because you get these long hour-and-a-half dungeons that are nothing but walk around and fight. And once you've solved the enemies for the zone, there's nothing more to fights.
Mm-hmm. Now, Crazy Crab, however, is a fantastic final dungeon enemy. It's just a crab, but a little bit more mad than normal.
This is a large tick.
Yeah, that's a crab.
Crabs are just big ticks.
No. Ticks are like small crabs.
What came first?
Crab. Zero hesitation.
Crab or cool crab?
Crab.
You idiot.
No,
Oh,
it's no. Just the fact. Crab came first. Don't you dare fucking Dilbert 3 at me at this.
Alright, I successfully killed nothing that turn.
You hear about that crab skin? You know, that's where you throw the crab skin?
No, I have
There's this
not.
website I want you to check out. www.crab.com. Just check it out. Hold on.
Doc, this is not safe for work.
I'm checking to make sure. Alright, no, it's safe for work. The site is under construction and probably will be forever. Someone does own crab.com, though.
This is not gonna end well. We're fine. I mean, the thing is, Meat Dungeon can be a very interesting dungeon. But, like, when I think about Meat Fort in Final Fantasy V, and, like, almost every floor had a weird and different gimmick. Like the one part where the bridge is moving back and forth and you have to stop it at the right moment. It had anything going on.
Okay. Just finished up the last thing I needed to do today.
Was updating crab.com.
No, I don't own crab.com. I would love to own crab.com, but I don't own it. I would just tell you flat out right here and now if I owned crab.com. I would wear that badge with pride, you know? I would be screaming at the top of my lungs, "Yo, everyone! I own crab.com!" You know?
That's accurate. I'd believe that. Lamina, why are you so slow? You have all the best. You have the best AoE abilities, and the MP to spam them, but you're so fucking slow that everything's dead by the time your turn comes up.
Yeah.
Lasers. This enemy was a trap, and there was nothing worthwhile past them. Also, resistant to physical attack. Resistant to everything.
Resistant.
Just resistant.
Resist.
Oh, is weak to ice.
Resistant to everything, including ice, but in reverse. Reverse resistant. You know? That's how it works. Anti-resist.
Unresist. If only we had a word for it.
It's impossible. You cannot claim that in any other way.
Some sort of opposite of invulnerability.
Yes. Vulnerability. The ability to be convinced. You convince them. Anti-invincible.
Nice. Yeah, chat brings up another good point. This game could have used a second battle theme at some point.
That's, yes, frequently the case.
How do I open up laser? And I hope it's not come back after hitting a switch. It is extremely hit this contra ass switch and then go back. But
But
let's go in the one fight and see what that does. Ah. What's the fucking point? Oh, we built it wrong as a joke. Yeah, that's why I'm healing him, to find out if this is his max HP is 1, which we might not find out. Oh, also I think he resists all elements? Yeah, it might just knock him down to 1 HP, which could be good in a boss fight where we generally get turns off first. I think I'll leave the ring on him for one more fight just to see if he can be healed at all. You're giving me a lot of free silver lights in this dungeon, which is worrisome about how long this dungeon's gonna be. They're learning. You need to experiment a little bit more. See how indestructible he is. Alright, so yes, he is just knocked down to 1 HP at the start of each fight. Damn, I wanted to see if, like, he loses HP at the end of each round, which could be counteracted with a heal, so... Not good for standard dungeon, good for boss, though. Well, no, like, distinctly, becoming an adult did make the dragon better at combat. it upped the numbers. She used to do like 6 damage, and now she does 40.
That's pretty big. That is a large increase.
It's about 10%. Also, she got the dash move. She didn't have that before. No, what's it called? Ruby was consistently doing the same damage for almost the entire game until the "You're Old Now" event occurred, and then she actually gained some number.
It's not a nothing number.
It's not. She does almost as much as one of those Gene punches. So, if I just barely don't kill an enemy. She is doing about as much help now as she was at the start of the game. Whoa. Sometimes they go through the openings, and I just don't expect that to happen. Snatcher. You know, it's some combination of playing this Dragon Quest XI and the Final Fantasy IV randomizer all around the same time. That made me realize I really don't like random encounters in RPGs.
Yeah, no, it's bizarre that they are forever there, you know? Random encounters have always kind of blown.
Like, I just want to fight bosses. Because those are interesting fights. Whereas random encounters are...
Not even just bosses. I just hate, you know, the random encounters. You can have pre-done encounters. Those are cool. I don't mind pre-done encounters.
Well, like, even in this game, like...
I mean, they're there, but also basically you can't avoid 90%
Exactly.
of them,
There
is
we
the
go.
thing.
Yeah.
And they're not designed
They're not.
Really, they're just random enemies in there.
But yeah, an interesting RPG where like there's just a bunch of fights, and some of them are optional, but like you can get number out of them, but they're crafted. They're artisanally crafted encounters.
Yeah.
I've heard the name. What is that? Live Alive.
Ah, Live Alive.
Yeah, I've heard that name mentioned before, and I have no idea what that game is.
Okay, so Live Alive is part of the trio of Square Enix games that came out at the end of the SNES's life cycle that never got put anywhere else. I'd breaking up.
No, you're fine.
It was alongside Bahamut Lagoon and Treasures of the Rudras. Those 3 games never made it out of Japan.
Alright, I remember Loon playing Lagoon, and it had like... It's how you train your dragon in the video game.
What it's worth, Live Alive is an excellent example about why random random encounters also suck. The final chapter of Live Alive. So, there's like, it's 7 chapters which have no random encounters at all. They're all pre-designed and basically made to be interesting. The final chapter of it has random encounters. Or rather, the second to last. It's one of the 2. And this makes it, like, the quality of the game just tank completely. The perfect example of how that actually kind of ruins it.
Ah. 3 swords. But yeah, that sounds awful. Welcome to the skill that we use on bosses. It's literally, as it says on the tin, for 5 times the cost of Poe Sword, you do the damage of 3 Poe Swords in 1 attack. How many bosses are left? I don't remember, actually. Alright, so we're gonna have to go down both sides because there's probably a switch on both sides. Are all the abilities learned at 50? I think some characters learn them before, some characters learn them after. Like 1 or 2 levels. Because I think Ronfar is done. I don't think Ronfar gets any more abilities. But like, it would make sense, because Ron was here at the end. Yeah, I think Lumina's final spell is maybe the highest level, but it's also completely superficial. It's like some outrageous cost AoE magic. Like, due to Lamina's speed, her final spell is completely not even worthwhile in any way. Because, alright, here's your, like, we'll wipe out any encounter AoE spell. Alright, by the time it comes to her turn, everything is dead. Why do people use AoE for spells that hit all enemies? Because there's not an abbreviation for... I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Hits everyone, takes longer to say. Like, that's the other thing about this game. The run feels like it should be like a second longer. Because I could have gotten through that room without having to fight. But they caught me right at the tail end. I mean, clearly what it is, I need to learn how to juke better. Yeah, I think Jean is one of those characters that gets her final move at 51, but God, what a final move. It is really good.
I might have not read another thing.
Oh God. Well, I will have to check that out afterwards because I'm not going to open that up on stream.
Or you could be not a coward. Nah, don't worry about it.
I wonder if Concussion Sword does... No. Why does Concussion Sword deal magic damage?
Because it's a magical concussion.
Why doesn't Hero get an AoE attack that's worth using? But like also it's specifically some sort of magic type that these men are resistant to, which is weird because I don't think they're resistant to any other elemental magic. Or I could just Blue Dragon Fist and just end the encounter, which sounds good. Blue Dragon Fist, just spend half, well, not half, like a fifth of Jean's MP pool to just end an encounter.
Grizzle Blade. So what's the grizzle in the Grizzle Blade? What's so grizzle about it?
My brain right now is reaching for what, like, the textbook definition of grizzle would be.
There isn't one. Like, there's grizzly, but I don't believe grizzle is a word.
Isn't... Am I
Oh
thinking
no,
of...
hold on, it is.
Yeah.
Having dark and white hairs mixed, so it's the salt and pepper, basically.
When you see, he's pretty old.
Is he?
Is he?
I don't think Leo is! I think Leo's pretty ripe and young.
Now my brain is like trying to suss out this question now. Also, yes, if that's what grizzle, the actual definition of grizzled is, or grizzle, that would explain the definition of somebody being grizzled.
Mm-hmm.
What am I, like, what's it called when it's like the bad shit on meat?
What?
Is that gristle?
Oh, yeah, Gristle. Yeah, Gristle.
Okay.
Gristle.
That's where my brain was reaching. Actually, wait, hold up. I can galaxy brain this. Yes! Yes! Knockback is way more guaranteed in this game.
Look at that. A perfect lineup. Sibelium.
What's Sibelium?
That's a good question. I'm actually looking that up right now. I don't think that is anything. Sibelium, as they spell it in this game, means nothing.
But what's a skanda?
Well, I mean, a skanda is just one of the things you have to purge yourself of to achieve enlightenment.
Is that the skanda blade?
No.
you
You'd be able to figure it out if it was a skanda blade.
Are you sure?
Yes. I can recognize skandas on sight. I've been dealing with these for weeks and months. It's been like 2.5 months now. I'm very good at identifying skandas.
This encounter sucks. This exact encounter with everybody about to do the thing that they're gonna do. Here, you two dumbasses up there, taste the refreshment.
Sample my goods.
Oh, is that a very quiet Leo?
Yes. He's very small. That's also not how you spell battalion. There's 2 T's in there. And they fucked it up. They've only got 1 T.
Well, that's battalion.
Is that just like a different kind? Alright, so battle, like B-A-T-A-L, is alongside Sibyl, I guess, and those are just like qualities of battle and Sibyl.
Please look up B-A-T-A-L-L.
Okay. Alright. B-A-T-A-L-L. Just that's it? Batal.
Yes.
Batal Productions is a cultural center in Valles, Spain.
There you go. The movie
Oh,
play.
sorry, Valles. I see.
Just can't get away from enemies. It is undoable. Alright, let's see what happens if I run. Alright, maybe run is more guaranteed than I remember. No, because I've definitely failed run before.
Maybe it's, what's her name? Luna? No. Who's the one that's not in your party right now that was in your party for most of the game?
Lucia.
Lucia. Maybe it's because Lucia's really slow and couldn't run.
Perhaps. Also, thank you for... These enemies are just as fast as you running. Holy shit.
That's pretty fast.
Also, thank you for the follow. If there is a boss in here, I have no idea what it would be, other than the final boss. Well, this way was entirely wrong. That was just the wrong direction to go. Yep, there it is. We went, what, like 3 fights?
Like 3 fights without a failure, yeah. Man. Chances to fail where if you just fail, the enemies get a full round of attacks on you is just always the worst.
Yeah, it makes you not want to run.
And it's like, why would you even include it as an option at that point? Makes fights take way too long. Like, long and short of it, being able to, like, guarantee runs will work eventually. It's one of the things that I actually like about Final Fantasy's way of running. Where you hold it, and like how the ATB system works. It's like one of the few things that ATB actually works out with. Is you can just run, and you can take a few hits on the chin, but it's not going to waste your time by having, like, things take too long while that's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing ATB really has going for it.
It's one of the things that I really like in Suikoden. Suikoden has, like, 3 different run options, mattering on your level compared to the enemy. There is... No. The first game had two different types of run, which was run or bribe. Bribe was a 100% chance, but you lost money. Until you way over-leveled, or like you were a certain level equivalent to the enemy, at that point you got the option of let go, which was a 100% chance. Just always worked.
Basically, if you were significantly stronger, you could just let them go, because they want to get away from you.
But, like,
right, you mean.
Yeah. And this wasn't even like a ridiculous number to hit. I frequently, during my playthroughs, hit that limit in the middle of dungeons.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, that's a good way of doing it. Because that's kind of always the thing. you want to do fights until you feel like you're appropriate for the area, and then you just start running from them. It should extremely be almost always some kind of level based or something like that, where once you reach a point of power, you should be able to just guarantee getting away. If you have a failure chance at all. Or, like, maybe you just don't need one, you know? Just let them choose when you feel powerful enough.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so that enemy just goes very fast and paralyzes someone. At least in that formation. We might need to spend a couple starlights right now. I have 20. Though we do also need a lot number for Gene to get to that 51. Excuse me. This is zone though. Oh, that was a loop. I remember, due to the number of attacks that she does, if I'm attacking enemies and then having people do follow-ups, I need to extremely have Jean attack enemies up in front. Because then, like, Leo's not going to get that guy in the back. Background, why do you behave this way? Why do you behave that way? Only there. It's only right there. Weird. Ah, right, you paralyze. It's extremely wild that the enemies in this dungeon, the final dungeon, have less HP than enemies that were in the Tower of Althena.
Yeah. Well, weird decisions are made with, well, just kind of in general with these games.
It had the Angel Gunners, Angel Bombers, whatever they call, just had 1,000 HP, and it was confusing.
Miserable?
Yeah, because they were also one of the most threatening enemies, and you just could not burst them down fast enough before they got a turn.
Lunar Seed.
Moon Seed?
Moon Seed. Moon is fucked up, and anyone who likes it is wrong. Just a fact. It's not controversial. Everyone agrees with that.
Doc, I just want you to know, as I've mentioned, I've been playing through, or catching up on Final Fantasy XIV, and one of the gods that you fight at one point over the course of it is Tsukiyomi.
Yes.
And immediately after it spawns, I just messaged PA with Moon God.
Accurate. We need to finish watching that.
Oh, right, yeah, that is actually a reference to something that we were watching as well.
Yes, it was, because of Moon Clown.
Moon Cloud?
Moon Clown.
Did I start catching up? Yeah, I've gotten through patch 4.3. I stopped playing on 2.2. So or 4.2. I started on 4.3.
I was actually offered a bounty recently, which was to play Final Fantasy XIV. It apparently would have just immediately given me a level 50 character and like skipped through most of 2.0 or something.
That would have been okay.
Yeah.
2.0 is the worst part of that game.
It's kind of incredible how much better 2.0 was than 1.0, but it's still not great.
Yes. Like, it was better at the time.
Yeah, but the stuff that's come out after that is so much better than 2.0 that...
They have gotten so much better at storytelling. It's amazing.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Here's a thing I probably would have, if I ended up ever playing the game, I would probably just end up skipping all cutscenes.
Unless they made you play before the actual end of A Realm Reborn, because the last 2 dungeons of A Realm Reborn have cutscenes in them and they're unskippable.
Well, I would have just checked out during that and let him play and waited, probably.
The whole reason for this being, it was such a problem for newer players when they got to that dungeon, because they would stop and want to watch the cutscenes to get the story, because the cutscenes during that are actually pretty good.
Yeah, but they're still video game cutscenes.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's to each their own, you know? But it was so bad that players would skip them, and by the time players were halfway done the cutscenes, all the high-level players were already done the dungeon.
Incredible. That's a lot of cutscene.
It's a lot of cutscene in that. There's a reason they don't do cutscenes in dungeons anymore.
Right.
The Castrum is not as bad as Praetorium, but Praetorium is very, like, legitimately, so I've been catching up, And in order to help that, you have to get, it's the MMO thing of like do dungeons, get tokens, turn tokens in for gear, and I have to hit certain item level in order to do fights to catch up. So I've been doing the main story roulette, which involves those dungeons. If I ever get Praetorium, it's legitimately, I just turn on a video, and whenever a cutscene ends, I hit some buttons for like 3 minutes, and then a cutscene starts, and I just put the controller down and continue watching a video.
Right, okay. Fantastic.
Okay, there we go. There's probably some chests on this floor. Maybe. This floor is a complete and utter maze. I'm good. In fact, you know what? Let's be proactive here. Is there anything worthwhile in this dungeon at all?
Donjon.
Whoops. Did not copy and paste that correct. There's nothing in here but the Fiend Ring. The Fiend Ring is the only piece of equipment. The only thing are life jewels and silver lights.
And did you already get the Fiend Ring?
Yes. That was the thing. That was the thing that ridiculously boosts my defenses, and I think gives me resist to all elements, but knocks you to 1 HP at the start of fights.
I see. So, neat. Who knows?
Good for a boss fight, where
Yeah.
I can just have Jean drop a full heal on hero.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still doing your Dark Souls 2 run? With the randomizer?
Oh, I finished that.
Oh, okay. I missed the end of that then.
I just found the Giant's Kinship lying around in Aleum Lois. It was just on the It was on the floor right next to the dogs. You know, those 3 dogs at the start of it? It was just there. So I grabbed it and I went and finished the game. That's all I needed.
Also,
I didn't actually do any of Drangleic Castle. It was not necessary. I just grabbed that, went to the basement, and then just finished the game.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm Mirror Knight, right? Yes. I was like, what the fuck is even in Drangleic Castle? I don't remember.
There are 2 bosses technically in Drangleic Castle.
Are you counting like the bottom floor, the duo?
I'm talking about the duo, which is actually the top. No. Okay, technically speaking, if we're gonna go and include every one of the final boss sequences, there's actually 5. Because I don't mean the Throne Watcher and Defender, or Nashandra, or Aldia there. I actually mean the dual Dragon Riders.
Oh, right! God,
That's a boss fight in that game,
I
remember?
completely forgot about them.
Yeah, dual Dragon Riders, and then the King's Pass at the end with the Looking Glass Knight.
The one Dragon Rider, and then the other one that just fucking falls off of his perch at one point during that fight.
Well, I mean, he can if you go over close to him, because he can't get an angle on you with his bow. Also, that's the only Dragon Rider in the entire game who's blue, but the Dragon Rider armor that you can get if you're on New Game Plus from Magarol is the blue version, for some reason, even though the blue version looks way worse than the red version.
Right, Magalore.
Magarold. He's Magarold. Who else? Magalore is not in that game.
No problem, Peach Lover. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for 6 months. Whoa. When the enemy gets hit, we'll...
How are you already? Thanks for the interesting times in Yubi.
A little head pops out of that guy when he gets hit. Also, these armor guys actually have a beefy move on them.
Alright, Leo, I know that you're really fond of your swinging your sword back and forth like that, but you know it's not that cool when you keep doing it. I don't mean the back and forth like that. Whatever, that's fine. I mean the twirling, you know, when he's doing a move.
Well, I don't. The thing that I was trying to figure out is I don't understand what the point of the back and forth here is.
I mean, that's just him moving it back and forth, so he's covering more of his options.
We call that sweeping the fight.
We call that jumping into light fears. Yes.
Battalion sword.
Hey there, buddy. It's me, Leo from Moon.
Oh, that move doesn't hit the entire... It actually starts at the guy that you aim at. Why?
Watch, it sucks.
Or something? Because I don't know
Maybe
now.
because he was too far in the back in the room, like the fight.
Maybe.
So it actually starts there on that vertical axis every time, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. That's the first situation that's ever come up in.
Mm-hmm.
When Ronfar upgraded his multi-heal to heal a little better, it just became really tedious because now it is outside of battle most cost effective to just single heal everyone. It's 6. It's a cost of 6 for the AoE. So even if you're hitting everyone, who knows? Maybe if everybody was all the way low on health, it'd be more cost effective.
Also, does it heal more as well, or does it heal roughly the same?
I don't know.
Because if it heals more, then it might actually still be worth using over the other one.
Welcome back to Solved Encounters. We'll take a little damage, but we know what we're doing. Thinking back on JRPGs with puzzles in it, what's it called? Wild Arms springs to mind.
Yeah.
Where they had the dungeon items.
Similarly to how Lufia 2 does it.
Does Lufia 2 do that?
Yeah. You got your bomb, you got your grapple hook stuff. It has... Yeah, Lufia 2 absolutely has dungeon, like, puzzles and stuff.
Do you think that game holds up?
Lufia 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it holds up pretty dang well as far as SNES RPGs.
Might have to jump into that one. I've heard enough people talk about it where it's
It's
piqued my
good.
interest.
It is a quite good game. It has a really neat... It's neat as a prequel to its first game, where you know everyone involved at the start of the game is going to die.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, I'm sorry. The game literally goes into it, like expecting that you know that. And weirdly enough, there was a DS remake of Lufia 2, and that was weird.
Weird how.
Well, it was a completely different genre. It wasn't an RPG, basically.
Wait.
It was like a sort of 3D action game on the DS. It was very weird.
So, what you're telling me is I need to play the first 10 minutes of Lufia 1 and then play Lufia 2.
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah, because isn't Lufia 2 called, like, Rise of the Sinistrals, and that's who you fight in the first game?
That's who you fight at the very start of the first game, and you win, but then, yeah. And then there's actually, like, they show up again later on in Lufia 1 as well. The Sinistrals are 4 very important characters in both games. Also, their balance theme kicks ass.
Just realized it's been a very long time and I have not save stated. So, just gonna do that. So, you know, as Lunar is a game where you can save anywhere. Alright, Demon Gate.
Some people are more partial to the regular Lufia 2 boss theme. I am extremely on the Sinistral boss theme side of things.
We had, not this week, but last week, we had a very in-depth discussion during the Curse 50 about unbeatable bosses.
Oh, yeah. They can be done well, but rarely are.
Pretty much. I think the best way to do it is to immediately make it obvious that they are unbeatable. In one way or another, because the moment you let your player start wasting items, like, because, well, a lot of people won't use them because a lot of people don't use their resources, but, like, if I walk to a fight and I use, like, an elixir, and then as it turns out, oh, you weren't supposed to win that, I'd be real pissed. Oh my god.
The difference here is a boss fight that is not required to be beaten, but can be.
Mm-hmm.
How's that as an idea?
Those are generally
Because Lufia 2 has one very famous one.
Also rewards the player for pulling it off and just doesn't go,
Yes, and it
well,
does do that.
well, fuck you. Because, Souls games, if they have one of those bosses at the start that you have to lose against, a lot of them just go, well, you're gonna go into this cutscene anyway.
Well, I mean, only one of them actually does that. Only Demon Souls actually does that. All the other ones you have to beat them.
Well, okay, hold up. Sekiro does that.
Okay, yeah, but Sekiro is not a Souls game.
True. But in Demons, if you beat the Vagrant,
Yeah.
you get items.
You get a copy of his soul, which otherwise it's you can get a second copy of that soul later on, which is where you're supposed to get it. But you get a copy of the Grey Demon Soul and a whole bunch of really low-level upgrade materials and a couple of grasses.
Low-level upgrade materials, but like way earlier before those actually become plentiful.
Yeah, but also way earlier and way before you're actually able to both use them and also before they're any kind of required. Because you can do every single one of the first areas in Demon Souls with an unupgraded weapon.
I think you can use them right away. There's the smith in town, right?
Yeah, but you have to beat Boletaria first.
Before he does
I'm pretty
anything?
sure you have to beat Boletaria 1 before he does anything.
It has been a very long time since I had played a new game save of Demon Souls. It has been more recent for you than I.
Yes.
Because when I did
It might be that you actually can upgrade them immediately, but like...
Oh, you don't have any souls, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like you can't do anything in Demon Souls before you beat Boletaria 1. Pretty much.
Oh! Two.
Nice. Looking good.
I mean, yeah, they got a good look to them. I like them.
They're just really fast.
Less that they're very fast and more that they have a lot of HP and only vulnerable to magic, and if they get turns off, they generally just kill somebody.
That's not what I meant. I meant I was actually way behind because of things that are updating on my computer.
Ah. I'm trying to think if there's any fights like that in any other RPGs that I can think off the top of my head. Suikoden 1 has the fight that generally your first time through you're going to lose, but you're technically supposed to be able to win it. In fact, if you want the good ending, you're supposed to win it.
It doesn't happen very often, is the thing. Most of them just go
doesn't.
for, you know, you lose or not.
Oh yeah, Super Robot Wars kind of do it in a very interesting way. At least in the one that I played in J. A lot of bosses, once they hit like 10% health or something like that, they're generally scripted to run away. And you don't get any rewards for it. Unless you can actually knock them to 0 before that. By doing like a really big super move. And then you actually get like, they drop an item and you get bonus experience and money for it. Boss fight? Is this it? Yes, this is it. Which means we are not ready yet. We need about 4,000 more experience on Gene.
Oh, you know what a game that's pretty famous for doing that is? Chrono Trigger. Where every fight that's like that is one of those fights. Anytime you're in, like you were supposed to lose to, like Lavos, to the big fire, you can win that fight against Lavos.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's an ending for every single one of them.
And then some.
Yeah. Because that's kind of Chrono Trigger's entire idea there. Like, 16 endings.
19 compact discs.
Like, even... I think it's not even just Lavos, too, because, remember the Golem in 12,000 BC? The first time you fight it? That's supposed to be unwinnable, but you can win against it, too. I think you get, like, some small bonus for doing it, but not a big one.
Yeah, I think you still get captured if you do that.
Yeah, you still get captured, but you get a reward.
Oh, hey, there's Catastrophe. Omni-element. Hits all elements. That's the gimmick of Catastrophe. In fact, since I'm going to blow Silverlights and restoring everyone, how much MP does she have? Enough to cast that spell. Because, yeah, 55 MP. Hits all elements, 55 MP, though.
Trying to think of other instances that it happens too. It's at least one, like, I can't think of any, like, off the top of my head. Chrono Trigger is, like, the most distinct example of that coming up. Because every time that every time a boss fight that you're supposed to lose happens in the game, you can technically win it.
And that's mainly due to the fact that New Game Plus exists.
Yeah. I mean, hell, even the, one of the Levos fights in Project, the very famous Levos fight, which is stronger than the one that's in every other point in the game, even when he first emerges, I think, and kills Chrono. That one right there is also an example of a good unwinnable one, because the very first action that it does is, you know, fire rains from the heavens, or ruin rains from the heavens, or whatever it is, and kills everyone immediately, because it does like 800 damage.
$27. I need one more enemy, please. Oh, there's an item over there. There we go. Though, that's 2 enemies. I don't need 2 enemies. I just need 1. Looks like a crazy here. The only instance of straight up grinding I've done this entire playthrough. Does either Valkyrie profile have unwinnable fights?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Where's Loon when you need him?
I mean, he's only played the one, I think.
Yeah, Xenogears has a bunch of unwinnable. Grandia has a couple unwinnables. Here's the move. Doppel Dance. Morphs into Slam Dance.
Is that apply to everyone, or is it that happens twice?
It's that... So, of course, we'll see in the upcoming thing, but I gotta run to the location anyway. Oh, this is the wrong way. I don't actually want that chest. I don't want to do another fight for a chest. So, like, the way that Doppel Dance works is that for 3 turns, she creates a familiar at the end of the turn, runs forward, and does, for all intents and purposes, a regular attack. That's what the familiar is doing. It's more damage than regular attack. It's probably about all of her regular attack damage in one move.
Right. So what does the upgraded version Slam Dance do?
It does Dragon Palm.
Okay.
It just does her 10 MP move at the end of every turn.
I see.
Which is for pretty much doubling her DPS.
Mm-hmm.
But, as we said last week, and as I did in the first game, because, yeah, these dungeons are long, and these endings are long, I'm gonna split video. So,
Smart.
we'll be right back.